Welcome back. I'm Neil Chase, author of Iron Dog's writer-director of the action thriller feature Contamination. And today, let's talk about unforgettable characters. We all know a great story starts with a great character. But here's the question. How do you take an idea, a spark, and turn it into a character that's so memorable, audiences can't stop thinking about them? Today, we're breaking down step by step, from brainstorming all the way through to having a fully realized protagonist ready to live in your story. And along the way, we'll look at some famous examples from film and TV, talk about what makes us connect to those characters, and give you practical tips you can use in your storytelling right now. But first, hit that like button, subscribe for more writing tips like this one, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. And be sure to stick around to the end of this video for all the tips you need to help you create your own memorable characters. So grab your popcorn. Let's get started. Step 1. Start with a spark. Every character starts with a fragment of an idea. Now, it might be a personality trait, a job, a flaw, or even just an image. Think of Rocky Balboa. At the start, Stallone didn't even have a whole script. He just watched journeyman boxer Chuck Wepner fight Muhammad Ali, the greatest heavyweight champion in history. And not only did he last all the way to the last round, but he knocked Ali down. Stallone took inspiration from this, imagining a down-on-his-luck boxer who got one last shot at greatness. Well, that spark became the seed of a timeless underdog story we all know and love. So at this stage, don't overthink. Write down one distinct trait. Are they shy, arrogant, funny, obsessive? One role in life. Maybe they're a teacher, a soldier, firefighter, accountant. And one contradiction. Is the teacher scared of kids? Is it a pacifist soldier? Maybe a pyromaniac firefighter, or an accountant that hates math. See, contradictions instantly make characters memorable because they surprise us. Audiences lean in when something about that character feels unusual or unexpected. Step 2, define their want versus their need. What does your character want? And what do they really need? This is the heart of great character writing. Audiences connect when they see a character chasing something external while internally needing something deeper. Look at Finding Nemo. Marlin wants to keep his son safe at all costs. But what he needs to learn is to let go and trust Nemo. Or The Lion King. Simba wants to run from responsibility. He needs to embrace his role as king and protector of his people. See, the want drives the plot. The need drives the emotional journey. So if you give your character both, they'll feel layered and memorable. Step 3, build flaws and vulnerabilities. Perfect characters are forgettable. Flaws make them human. I mean, Indiana Jones isn't just a cool adventurer. He's clumsy, he's scared of snakes, and often overconfident to a fault. Katniss Everdeen is brave, sure, but distrustful and emotionally guarded. Tony Stark, brilliant and charming, but arrogant and self-destructive. Flaws give audiences a way in. We see ourselves in those cracks, and vulnerabilities create stakes. If your character can be hurt emotionally or physically, well, we care more about whether or not they succeed. So when you brainstorm flaws, think in terms of internal flaws such as fear, pride, guilt, doubt, and external flaws such as clumsiness, bad temper, impulsiveness. And in order to get the most out of those flaws, make sure they create conflict with other characters, because that's when they'll really shine. Step 4, give them a backstory, but don't overdo it. A good character feels like they existed before page 1. That's where backstory comes in. But here's the key. Your audience doesn't need to know everything. You need to know it. But you need to only show the parts that matter to the story. Look at Jason Bourne. We don't learn his entire past all at once. We get it in fragments, teased out over multiple films, which keeps him mysterious and keeps the audience engaged. Or what about Elsa in Frozen? Her backstory of hiding her powers shapes pretty much everything she does. But we don't get this huge info dump. No, it's revealed over time through song, conflict, and interpersonal relationships. As the writer, sketch out the key events that shape your character. Then decide which moments actually belong in the story and which stay in your notes to serve as inspiration for character development or even actor performance. Step 5, create distinctive voice and behavior. Memorable characters sound and act like no one else. Jack Sparrow isn't just a pirate, it's the way he slurs his words, staggers when he walks, makes ridiculous grand gestures. See, the writing plus the performance gave him a completely unique voice. Or what about Yoda? His backward sentence structure makes every line instantly recognizable. Do or do not, there is no try. You know exactly who said it, and you can't imagine anyone else saying it either. A distinct voice comes from elements such as word choice. Are they casual, formal, sarcastic? Rhythm. Is it short bursts or long rambles? And physical quirks. Fidgeting, pacing, avoiding eye contact. Think about it. If your character speaks in a casual tone using short bursts of slang-filled dialogue while avoiding eye contact and constantly fidgeting, well, that would be night and day from that same character speaking in formal run-on sentences with arrogant tone and deadpan delivery. No matter which way you go, the key is consistency. Once you decide how they speak and act, keep it steady so your audience feels like they know this person. And more than that, so this person feels authentic and real. Step 6. Put them in conflict. Characters are revealed through conflict. We don't really know who they are until they're tested. And it's this test that forces them to make tough choices. In Jurassic Park, Dr. Alan Grant doesn't want kids. He's emotionally closed off. But when he's forced to protect Lex and Tim from dinosaurs, we see his layers peel away. The conflict transforms him. John McClane in Die Hard is just a cop with marital problems, until he's trapped in a skyscraper with terrorists. His toughness, humor, and vulnerability all come out under pressure. See, conflict doesn't just drive the plot. It's the forge that shapes your character into someone unforgettable. Step 7. Give them relationships that matter. No character exists in a vacuum. Relationships are what bring them to life. Woody in Toy Story is defined by his rivalry with Buzz, his loyalty to Andy, and his friendship with the other toys. Without all of those relationships, well, he's just another cowboy doll. And what about Harry Potter? His arc only works because of his bond with Ron and Hermione and Hagrid, his mentorship under Dumbledore, his conflict with Voldemort. Think about how your character interacts differently with different people. Who do they love? Who do they fear? Who do they need to impress? Relationships create contrast, and contrast makes for memorable characters. Step 8. Shape the arc. A memorable character doesn't end the story the same way they began. They grow. In Up, Carl starts bitter, closed off. By the end, he's open to new adventures and new relationships. In Moana, she goes from unsure and dependent to confident and self-reliant. Your character arc is where the want versus need finally collides. The character either embraces their need and grows, or rejects it and falls. Either way, that change is what sticks with audiences. Step 9. Test them on the page. Finally, put your characters into scenes and see how they react. Write test dialogue. Drop them into conflicts you might not even use in the story. This is how you find their voice and their consistency. If you can drop your character into a random situation and immediately know what they would say or do, well then they're ready to come alive on the page. So let's recap. Start with a spark. Define want versus need. Build flaw and vulnerabilities. Give them a backstory that matters. Create a distinctive voice and behavior. Put them in conflict. Give them relationships that bring them alive. Shape their arc. And test them on the page. That's how you go from a general idea to a fully fleshed character that feels alive. A character who audiences will love, hate, sympathize with, envy, feel sorry for, get angry at, laugh along with, discuss, wonder about, and grow alongside throughout the journey. That's how you make them unforgettable. But hey, this is just my 2 cents. Give me yours. What's the most memorable main character you've ever seen in a movie? And why? Drop it in the comments. And if you're a screenwriter, filmmaker, or producer struggling with a screenplay that has potential but isn't quite there yet, contact me through the link below and see if my rewrite to greenlight method is right for you. Until next time, stay creative.